Well, one of my favorite segments on the show is the Top 5, which we select our top 5 fighters from a number of various categories. And of course, sometimes they're serious and sometimes they're not. Without further ado, here are the best top 5 moments from our first season. Let's get to our top 5 for today. I'd like to know your top 5 wrestlers in the UFC. So say you better be number 1 on your own list. But let's see what your
Well, would
list
that not be a little bit arrogant if I chose myself at number 1?
I think if I'm picking the number 1 female host, I'm picking myself. Right.
But Daniel Cormier is the number 1 wrestler in mixed martial arts.
Unbelievable. Can you believe this guy?
I believe it.
Well, Jen, I'm kind of like this. I'm like, well, I'm not going to pick myself number 1. I would never pick myself. Well, I pick myself number 1. Boom!
One of the best stare downs in the history of the UFC. Our analysts are going to break that down.
This just shouldn't happen. You shouldn't have to kiss during your stare down.
Some lip contact.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind getting a kiss.
Sure.
But not during our stare down.
And we're going to see Jones give a nice little roar because he's in the MGM and they have lines there also.
You may be a part of like 5. We could have actually had you on all 5 of those.
Well, for me, every time you get on the stage, you know, when you're weighing in, that's a chance to preview for the fans what they're in for.
We're going to get to our top 5 today. That would be the top 5 UFC nicknames.
For number 5, I got nothing, okay? Because there are people out there like natural born killer. That's a sentence, okay? It's supposed to be a nickname. The Filipino wrecking machine. Nicknames are given to you when you play pickup ball, so that you come up with a little name that's quick, you know, like Finn or whatever it is, or Wags for Wagner.
Now these guys are going to break down their top 5 strikers in the UFC.
Anderson the Spider Silva, the greatest ever, the GOAT of striking all time.
You just put some serious pressure on DJ.
I know, sorry, man.
It was hard for me to pick up.
You know who we're both missing?
Who's that?
TJ Dillashaw.
I couldn't put
One
myself.
of the best strikers.
I couldn't put myself on the list.
Hey,
I should have put you on there. I put myself on some
I was
of the
going to
top
say,
5
don't let Brendan act like he's not put himself on some list before.
I'll put myself on some top 5.
Daniel Cormier's done it too.
I thought about it, but I figured it was a bad career choice to put myself on that list.
Yeah, I should have done it for you, my man. I apologize.
And our top 5 is going to be the top 5 multi-division fighters.
BJ Penn looking to remain the champion. It is all over.
That made Kenny put him so low on the list. Florian still has not let this go after all these years. Kenny, let it go.
You can let it go
Kenny,
now,
let
Kenny.
it go after all these years. You put BJ Penn at number 5. Kenny, let it go.
It's now time for our top 5 segment where Kenny and DC are going to break down their top 5 moments in the Ultimate Fighter history. Kenny, you could have stopped breathing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, sure, yeah, I could have. They wake up the smallest guy in the house, they ask me to help.
I saw you in there, Kenny. You were standing amongst giants at 185. You were just standing there all young.
I was just a little chubby guy.
Little kid from Boston. I'm from
Chubby
Boston.
kid from Boston.
All right, these guys are going to break down their top 5 athletes in the UFC.
I'm for sure going to take a warm hand to your face for not picking me number 1.
Listen, man.
No, but come on, man. What are you doing
I had to go with the champions.
It makes sense.
You know, I
hurts, bro.
know it hurts a little bit.
Well, we talked
I'm
about it.
motivating you. I'm
It's
motivating.
true.
When you're a champion, I'll put you at number 1.
Let's take a look at our top 5 for today. Top 5 rivalries.
How that's not your number 1 after
That was a good one. That was a good
I think
one.
he just fired you.
That just happened.
Well, Liddell Couture was pretty darn good,
I'm
too.
out of here.
That's going to bring us to our top 5 segment for today. It is going to be the top 5 knockouts.
We don't even know each other's lists, so
Oh, no,
the fact that
we should let everybody at home know that. Everybody, you guys at home know. They independently work on their list. They send them in. It's planned way ahead of time.
I mean, we might have FaceTime for 2 hours last night, but it's whatever.
We're going to have these two break down their top 5 boxers in the UFC.
You got number 4. You can't forget me, El Kukui, on my way to
Nice,
victory.
I love it.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? You can't be in boxing without the head movement, and I tell you what, I take that from Pernell Whitaker and Mike Tyson. I like that peekaboo style, and you know what? I bring a different essence to this game. A lot of power shots.
Top 5
Here we go.
debuts in the UFC.
The magnitude of their debuts was unlike anyone else's, and they did well. Brock didn't do well, but it was just the magnitude of
I
his
like
debut.
that you're thinking out of the box.
Yeah.
He thinks out of the box.
Now it's time for the top 5 segment in our show where Brendan and Kenny are going to break down their top 5 women's fights.
Alana Ronda.
Hey, but you know what?
How can you not have her?
You got it. Yeah,
fight?
it's
She's
tough.
the pioneer.
That brings us to our top 5 this week. I'm going to have you guys break down your top 5 submissions.
Punch your face into the ground, Florian.
Only if you wear those little black bikini trunks, though.
Oh my God, Dan,
I'll
the
tap
baby.
out. I think everyone all across the country and all the different Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu gyms were practicing that move after that.
Tenfold, whenever I was there as wrestlers, me and Kane were all high-fiving like, oh my God, they worked.
We're going to have a little fun today. We're going to break down the top 5 fighters that don't look like fighters in the UFC.
Geek Squad right there.
That's it.
That's
That's a
it.
good list.
I'll tell you what, if I went into Best Buy or Apple and he was fixing my computer, I'd have something to say. Now when I look at you with this new haircut that you've got going on, you look like Vitor Belfort. You know?
I would kick that guy's ass, Kenny Florian. That guy's a punk. He's a
Turn
punk.
it to the side. Look that way. Look at this.
The little Vitor Belfort going on in the
Vitor
back.
Belfort these days.
All right.
All right, some great stuff right there, and we'll certainly have more of those lists for you guys next season. All right, coming up after the break, we'll bring you the best of rapid fire, and in the words of Brendan Schaub, sometimes